Master of Photography is an extraordinary photographic contest. Thousands of candidates from across Europe applied. Only 12 were chosen.
I absolutely did not expect to be selected.
8 weeks, 8 different challenges to master in order to win the first and largest competition open to amateurs and professional photographers.
What makes my pictures is me that's taking them.
In each episode, a world-famous photographer mentors the contestants.
Your photo is like boring, boring.
Judging the pictures, 3 leaders in the world of photography. Oliviero Toscani.
Better not speak. Be a photographer.
Simon Frederick.
It's your picture. Do what the hell you want to do.
Ruth Blies Luxembourg.
There's a certain kind of cockiness.
No pun intended.
No pun intended. Sorry, no, everyone, right here.
Each week, one contestant is eliminated, losing their chance to win the biggest prize ever for a photographic competition, 150,000 euros.
You ready?
Never give up.
Who will master all 8 challenges? Who will be crowned Sky Arts Master of Photography? In the previous episode, the photographers were given a hard assignment to capture the beauty of Rome, one of the most photographed cities in the world. Despite the help of Alex Webb, most failed to impress the judges.
What we had was actually underwhelming.
With a few exceptions.
You made a very atmospheric portrait.
Last week, you had to condense or collapse thousands of years of Roman history, the Eternal City, into one shot. I'm sure it wasn't easy. Neil, you were talking to everybody.
In this situation, I was trying to approach people working in their natural environment, so rather than going to the tourist areas, went into shops.
Yes, that was great. You are the 11th conqueror of Rome. Do you realize that? So you should feel very proud about that. So now, let's welcome the judges.
Welcome back to Sky Arts Master of Photography. I bet you're very curious to see what we have in store for you, right? Your task is you're going to have to tell the story of a night in Berlin. What happens at night along the clubs and streets of a metropolis? But unfortunately, guys, we've chosen the worst night of the year for you. It's a freezing cold Monday night in Berlin. Which means that your subjects, your story, is really not going to be easy to find.
We're going to look at some photographs to get some inspiration and some visual input.
Please learn from the masters and let these works inspire you.
So the first image we're showing you is a picture of the Flatiron in Manhattan, New York. It was taken by Edward Steichen, a Luxembourg photographer, in 1904. It started the process of photography becoming accepted as a fine art. Now we are seeing a more contemporary work by a German photographer called Thomas Ruff. Is one of the Becher School students, very important school in Düsseldorf. He made a series called Nacht-Serie. So this is a work from that series.
Do you know who is this photographer? Anybody know?
Yeah.
Say.
Bruce Gilden.
Bruce Gilden. He's a street hunter. He hunts people he's photographed in the street, surprise them. He wants to get that kind of expression, that surprising, you know, that you don't really get by asking.
When you arrive back from Berlin, well, we have Bruce Gilden here to be your mentor.
So Berlin, you have to produce 3 images, not anymore one single image like in Rome.
It's now time for you to go to the kit room and choose your equipment for this particular task. Remember, choose wisely, be brave, and good luck.
Thank you.
For this task, the contestants can use up to 2 cameras. They can choose between a compact, a reflex, and a monochrome. They're allowed to shoot using exclusively the memory cards and the kit provided by the production. The new task, Nightscapes, Berlin. This is your subject, Ruth. Why did you choose night instead of day?
It's a completely different environment where you can be more free and discover things which are usually hidden during the day.
Here you have to photo an atmosphere. It's not really a visual thing, it's a sense.
It's a sense.
So here you have to photo a sense.
I choose the compact one because maybe I want to do something where the camera is not that obvious.
If they're going to take people's pictures, try and engage with them.
I don't know Berlin, and I don't speak German, so it's going to be difficult to communicate and know where I am and where to go.
So let's see how our contestant would deal in telling a story at night in Berlin. Thank you so much for all your advice, and let the task begin. Berlin is a city of contrasts. Contrasts that remind us of the fight between light and darkness, the essence of photography. Night photography is incredibly challenging. It will push the contestants' technique to the limit. One of the biggest challenges is trying to balance extremes of light and dark in the same scene. Very bright light or not enough light will cause the whole setup to be underexposed or overexposed. It's 10 o'clock. The contestants are outside the metro station of Berlin, Warschauer Straße, the starting point. It's time to insert their cards in their cameras. From this moment, they have 6 hours to accomplish the task. Tell a story in 3 pictures. They can shoot in a wide area that includes 2 of the most bohemian areas of the German capital, Friedrichshain and Kreuzberg.
Okay, go.
Last time during the Roman task, I don't know, I risked to be eliminated, and so this time I have to be concentrated and shoot something during the night. I don't have a real clear idea of where I'm going. Io con la moto civile però so che...
Shooting in Berlin was far quieter than even I expected it to be. There were just so few characters around to help me tell a story. It's so dead. It's like the main road in Berlin.
My camera is really heavy and this bag is quite heavy. I don't think I can walk for very long.
I'm not feeling overly inspired, to be fair. What am I supposed to be looking for? I kind of expected, I don't know, something a bit different.
Back in the middle of Berlin, there's nobody. And you see all the bars there are quite empty, which one is not normal. I live in Berlin. I knew that will be empty. I knew it will be like really hard to find anybody. I'll never give up. I'm a photojournalist, so I work in the streets every day. I know how to deal with extraordinary and extraordinary situations.
Not photograph yet?
No, not yet. You want? My approach when I take a picture is very straight and very direct. Sometimes it could be aggressive for some people. Hallo.
Das heißt, we don't do photos now. Photos without asking.
I was interested about the environment, other people. I really enjoy. I really enjoy also to make people angry with me. Sir, excuse me. Can I take your picture? My name is Gabriele. What's your name?
Ziad.
Ziad?
Ziad.
زياد يتكلم العربية؟
يتكلم العربية. أحكي من أول عربي. فلسطين.
فلسطين.
ليبيا.
الليبي في ليبي.
Strausberger Platz.
Strausberger Platz. Okay. U-Bahnhof.
This time I will use a strategy and I am already thinking about an idea. Let's see if I can finish early. These kind of buildings are the ones that I am interested in. Wow, look, all the windows. One of the three pictures, I want to be a portrait, but I need someone to pose me. Hello, do you have some time? I want to make a photograph. And if you have time, can I make a photograph of you?
Ten minutes?
Yeah, I think at much.
Okay. If we can do faster, it would be better.
Yeah, okay. Looking to the left. So one with the glass. I was in the street and I saw a piece of glass. I like a lot the type of paintings that Francis Bacon paints, that are all with the faces like without properly their shapes.
All right, so have you heard a place called Tipi by the river? I'm a photographer, I'm an artist. I just want to get to know you a little bit and to know if I could photograph the place. That's okay? I feel like I've been exploiting a bit this man's misery, like, and photographing him, but anyway. I think, actually, I have a story. It is what it is, okay? It's not a beautiful story. It's gloom, it's harsh, and the light actually I use, which was a flash, is actually very harsh as well, and I think it translates the environment in a way. We'll see.
Sebastian lives in Berlin,
and is determined to take advantage of his knowledge of the city, sticking to his style of photography.
I could also stop people on the street, but I prefer having control about my image. I'm using two friends of mine for being in the shot as well. Stop for the moment. We check around if we find something red on the floor to cover the flash. Now we have some red light. Okay, Frank, let's do the lighting inside. Okay, cool. Mehr Gas. Okay, done.
When I went in that apartment and I found that drag queen singing lyrical music, I was very enthusiastic because I thought I had found my Berlin story. The relation between the task and my photos is totally random.
Put the bird into the group of the bird. A little bit lower, a little bit the hand lower, yeah? Yeah. I kind of like these places. This could be the places I would normally go to. I try to make a big selection of images so I can later maybe create a story of some images that have maybe some interesting parts going on so I can connect them. Man sieht sich. Ciao.
That was scary.
For Dragica, the secret of Berlin's nightlife can be found in the most unusual places. All you need is a different perspective.
I'm just gonna take a garbage shot. You know how many objects are in there? Now this is a beautiful composition. I came specifically to Berlin to photograph garbage. And the other thing is how this kind of paper is sticking out and flowing in the air. That's what I like to photograph as well. Like completely meaningless things.
Where are you from?
Hamburg originally, but
okay.
My dad is from Africa. And
Where in Africa?
Nigeria.
Okay, I'm from half Ghanaian.
Ghana. Sweet. Yeah. Nice one. Yeah, I'm from Hamburg, you know, like, so Hamburg is like Ghana. It's like Black Star country.
All right.
I met this guy on the street, so had some similar heritage to me. I had a long conversation with him and ended up shooting him, and I really felt that having met him, I had kind of found a character that I could base my story around, because in many ways he reflected so many similarities that I saw in myself, so...
Cheers.
Wow. You know, if you walk around for long enough, eventually something happens. That was cool, really cool.
I think at night we see colors different and they're more popping, and that was something I was really interested in. I wanted to show in that 3 pictures.
So many opportunities, so many places you could go to, and it was so hard to decide, where do I go, where do I switch for the story? Making something about positive loneliness was the first impression I had, and I got away to try something else, but in the end I came back to that because it was the one thing I felt the most.
Can you look up into the light for a second, just like up here?
Exactly.
The task is coming to an end. Jan and Sebastian, the 2 contestants who live in Berlin, are running out of time to get the best out of their city.
I was running around like a crazy to find the right subjects.
I don't want to do like a staged fashion shot, you know? So you don't look to me. You are with yourself and I'm just capturing it by accident.
10 minutes, 8 minutes, 5 minutes, still not having the picture.
And you start a little kiss.
So it was a lot of pressure.
Finito. Basta.
It is 4 o'clock in the morning and time is up. The long night in Berlin has challenged the contestants' expectations. It has forced them to be flexible in their goals and in the ways to reach them. Back in the studio, the contestants are facing the second part of their task, picture editing. They have to select their best shots. Will they manage to choose not 1, but 3 pictures that tell a personal and coherent story about nightlife in Berlin? The wrong decision could spoil all their efforts. Choosing the right shots to present to the judges is a daunting task, and the contestants need all the help they can get. So who better to mentor them than one of the greatest contemporary street photographers, Bruce Gilden. American-born Bruce Gilden has always been fascinated by underdogs and the outcasts, the invisible part of society. Armed with his flash, he shows us the hidden side of the Big Apple, the spontaneous beauty of everyday ugliness.
So, Bruce, you're an artist who is very adept in telling stories. And the stories you tell within your photography, and where you actually have been a pioneer, is stories which perhaps have an edge, a disturbing quality.
Well, I think the most important thing in photography is to photograph who you are.
Right.
And I had a tough emotional upbringing.
Right.
And to me, it's very natural what I do, and I find beauty where some other people might not find beauty.
Yes.
And wherever I go, it's always me there. So I photograph myself.
I'm sure the contestants will really benefit from your knowledge and experience.
Okay. I find in all of these pictures you're very distant, okay? You're not close enough to the people. That doesn't mean you have to work as close as I do, okay? I don't expect that. But I find there's a space between the photographer and the subject you're photographing, okay? And that's not good.
Bruce Gilden and also I are storytellers. Though I think, and that's what he said too, really in a different way. Mine are really rather dreamy, fairy tale-ish, and he's really brutally honest.
This one here I find uninteresting, okay? And I think it had a lot of possibilities, all right? Because to me, it's more about the process at night than it is about what's going on inside the photograph, okay?
Yeah.
You're too conscious of the event, and you're not showing much of yourself. The thing is, here he looks quite uninteresting, okay? There's a distance between you and him. It's almost like you have a piece of gauze. You're not getting in to see his soul, okay? Yeah. They're quite flat. Yeah. They look like postcards, and postcards of a place that I wouldn't be interested in going to visit. I don't think any of the pictures as a whole work totally, okay? This one doesn't look so staged, even though it could be staged, okay? But I don't like the forming. So if you did stage it, then how did you stage such a poor picture?
Sorry? Okay, I can understand that this is framed wrong.
So is this. So is this. Look at this.
It's not for me.
Okay.
It works for me.
That's why you are there and I'm here. Okay. I don't want to go...
I'm not into, like, you like middle axis, or...?
No. Did you ever look at my pictures?
Yeah.
Okay, my pictures aren't in the middle, are they?
Okay.
Okay.
But it is well balanced, even though...
No, it's not balanced.
For me, it is.
Okay, that's...
Okay.
Then you're going to have difficulties in photography.
I don't know if I would say that I particularly learned something from Bruce Gilden.
Photographers, Bruce has given you a lot of his time, and I'm afraid it's coming to an end. But you will see him again when you're presenting your work.
The time spent with Bruce Gilden has given the contestants a new insight into their way of photographing.
The idea behind Berlin shots was to capture some sort of urban energy. Although I photographed garbage, it wasn't about the garbage itself, but how we treat things around us as human beings.
Taking the pictures at the time, trying to think what three photos are going together was really challenging, but then coming back and trying to put them together was even more difficult by not having a clear story that I could put together at the time.
Now they have only a few minutes left to retouch the pictures they have selected before printing them. Using a special software, they can correct the imperfection in the lighting, crop the images to cut away unwanted elements, tweak the intensity of the color, and correct the shadows.
The picture of the girl, I brought out her eyes slightly and made them slightly brighter, as well as cropping out someone's arm that was in the picture, which was quite distracting.
For this task, the post-production was very easy. Just contrast a little bit the dark shadow and the middle shadow. But, you know, the white, I want to keep like that, bare.
Okay, guys, your time is up. You will present your pictures shortly to the jury.
Photographers were eager to witness your story. Neil, you're first.
This story is one of identity for me. In terms of identity, Berlin's been born of two different parents from very different backgrounds. And I kind of saw myself in Berlin and tried to convey the loneliness and anxiety that I feel in trying to discover my own identity. The sort of contrast between light and dark, which for me is not just something of my personality, but also my skin color.
There's definitely a sense of deep loneliness and darkness, which really give a sense of what you were explaining.
I find you a little distant. I would like you to get a little bit deeper into it. That doesn't necessarily mean you have to be closer, but you have to, you're too spread out, okay? I think you're on a good starting point, but I think you have a way to go. You want to tell too much, because I can see a talent here. Don't get lost.
As there's a tendency for me to over-elaborate on things and to get too wrapped up in what's behind something rather than just the thing that's right there.
Marta.
I was searching for create a mood or an atmosphere. I want to create the feeling of the loss of individuality and oppression.
I don't think you've sequenced them in the right way. I would have started on the left-hand side with him, the last picture on the right-hand side in the middle, and then the other pictures on the right-hand side. But there's a beginning of a story there, and there's a cohesiveness that I quite like.
The man in the center, he's having trouble breaking through, and I think that may be a statement about yourself, okay? You have trouble putting yourself out to the world, as all of us do. I do, I'm sure we all do, okay?
I don't see me represented behind that glass, but maybe subconsciously it is.
Mary?
I've chosen a story, sexual travel of an undefined man that is represented by the central photo of the drag queen.
There's a mystery here, but the picture in the middle is very dominant. It really dominates the two other more subtle works.
I can see here 3 completely different pictures. I don't see a story.
I tried to do a story in my own way, and I'm pretty proud of it.
Rupert, please come join us.
It's clear you worked very hard. However, it doesn't hold together at all. They're all way too different to make a narrative.
Hongwei. Photographically, it's very intriguing what you did here. But is that a story about Berlin at night?
I'm not seeing any balance in these pictures. Now, Gabriele.
I get lost completely. So that's just my story, confused in Berlin alone.
Well, there is certainly a dynamic here. It has a good nocturnal energy. Jan?
I think you're on the right track. Continue.
I think that out of everything that I've seen, it's the most balanced.
Laura.
A story about loneliness, but to me, loneliness can be something really beautiful and something really inspiring.
Overall, I'm pleased with what I'm looking at. Every detail matters.
Lonka.
Oh, boy. I went to Berlin, actually, and I met Ludwig. Ludwig actually lives in a homeless camp. I don't try to make a social statement either, it's just happened, so I couldn't.
Every picture is a social statement. Even the most stupid postcard picture is a social statement of a stupid society. It's much easier to photograph these forgotten people than medium bourgeoisie. No, I just want to make that clear.
Yes.
Everybody's going for the poor, the starving child with the fly here and the
I disagree. I think it's easier to photograph pretty people than people which are actually...
No, but let me just say something. Yes, it's easier, but it's also how you portray something. You know, you have a portrait of the guy here, which doesn't tell me anything about him. You can take picture, I can see that. Yeah, we know that. But, yeah, you need a little oomph. Yeah. That's what I say. I agree. Go deeper. Yes, deeper.
Sebastian, we're very curious to see what you've done in Berlin.
I do like nightlife. What I like is you're entering another world. It's like a parallel universe happening at nighttime, where things happen which don't happen in daytime.
Okay, well, you're showing us a very coherent narrative in terms of the color balance you've chosen.
Why red? Red is a banality, you know, of course. Sinful, night, sex is red.
I do like red, even though it's a cliche. It's my own cliche. It's my own style I've chosen. I've chosen these bit slightly, not perfectly staged thing is intended, because it looks, I wanted to have it look a bit like captured.
I know they're staged, okay? So you have to get to that balance where it doesn't look staged, but yet it is.
and yet people think it's a reality.
Regita.
The story behind these pictures is that all things change. The fact that each of these elements had a history somewhere else and it was used somewhere else. The picture in the middle, it's visually very intriguing because it doesn't mean anything. It's almost shapeless. So all these three pictures kind of make me think about life slightly differently.
There's one thing which is what you have in your mind and what you understand. It's another thing to make your audience understand what it is you're trying to communicate.
I'm interested that you have chosen to direct your camera onto the ground, because we don't often look at the ground. And I like the complexity of the rubbish. I like the composition.
You know, if you're looking on the ground, I would like to see things competing and balancing with each other, okay, that I can get into. There's nothing that grips my eye there, okay, and there's nothing for me, I can't settle on anything.
I'm not sure whether I did a good job. I'm not also sure whether they liked my work very much.
It is now time for us to make our decision on who will remain in this competition and who will have to go away. There's nothing standing out, nothing jumping out, nothing saying, do you know what, this is like something that's surprising me.
It looks like they are taken from the same photographer. Everything is photographed from the same distance, more or less. Look,
that's what
there
I
is
meant.
nothing, go deeper inside, go close, and other point of view.
I think this, for me, is very weak.
For me, my least successful one is this one here.
Yeah?
Yeah, definitely. What the hell is it? It's not telling me anything.
This really out for me.
Yeah.
Okay, but this...
Hello.
Hello.
Can I interrupt? Were you able to find connection in the three photos? Either a story, a narrative story, or a visual connection?
We are trying very hard.
Oh, you're trying hard?
We are trying very hard, but it's very difficult.
Before you reach your verdict, I have an official communication from the production, and I leave you to it.
Go.
Thank you.
Okay. Photographers, I have an important announcement to make from the production. Sebastian, we're talking about you. We are looking into a possible breach of competition rules in regards of using your own equipment and not returning both your allocated camera cards at the appropriate time. We need some time to decide how best to proceed. We will let you know what will happen to you before the next task assignment. Obviously, if you get through this elimination process.
I was just about to do my last shot, which I really needed for the series. And I only had like 8 minutes left. And then suddenly the camera was empty and I swapped the cards and I took the wrong one. I took out of my old ones and put it inside the camera and I didn't realize. I'm really hoping that they don't throw me out.
Now it is time to face the verdict. We've chosen the most successful series.
Jan, we appreciate your contribution to this task. The series you have done in Berlin is coherent. There's a strong relationship between the three individual images. The eye lines of the characters in your work connect. It works very well together. So, well done. Congratulations.
It's the second time. It's putting even more pressure. I pretty much stressed for that. I mean, I don't want to go lower. This is going to be just too silly.
Laura, please. I really enjoyed your work, even though it doesn't belong to my taste. but I can appreciate something that is so well taken care of, the sensitivity of the color, even though I'm not jumping around saying, oh, I never saw Berlin like I never saw before.
I was really happy that my photos were selected to be one of the 2 best series. Of course, it's a big compliment that Oliviero likes them, though I'm really aware that he said they don't make him jump.
And now to the hard part, the 2 less successful pictures. The first person that I want to call for a second week is Mary. If you'd really focused on your central character, got closer, we would have understood where you were trying to take us. Simply putting together 3 black and white pictures randomly, it's not a story.
You don't get inside. What are you, scared? You have to be courageous. Make a mistake, it might be good.
I don't understand well what are my problems, okay, or what they want from me. I don't know, I have to find out.
And now to the second less successful picture, Dragista. This very much was a split decision.
I'm actually drawn to this work because I see the excess, I see the trash, all that we don't care about, that's accumulating. So I think there's something there going on which I very much appreciate. I'm very sad that I was not able to convince my fellow judges.
You had the semblance of something really powerful, but there is no focal point in any of these pictures.
What is the connection there? There's no connection. This is just a satisfaction of doing pretty picture of an ugly stuff.
I come from a painting background. If you photograph like a painter, you may not capture the things that photographers are looking for.
Photographers, we have come to a final decision. And like last time, it hasn't been an easy decision to come to. Between the 2 works, we have found that Dragitsa, your series, convinced us the less.
Okay.
All the ingredients are there in your work, but it's what you communicate and what you show, there's a disconnect. And that's why the picture is less successful. Good luck for your future.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
I think I learned a lot from them, and their comments contributed to my photography. So, yeah, it was a great experience. And now I'm gonna go back to painting.
For everybody else, we shall see you for the next assignment.
Going back to painting.
I like your concept.
In the next episode of Master of Photography, a whole new challenging task.
Capture the human body.
Some straightforward advice from a master.
It's about the skin marks.
That's what you say, but I see the tips.
A tough judgment.
It's a copy of picture that already saved.